Hey guys, we're going to do a reading. So I'm going to talk about a case that you guys probably don't even know exists. It's been in the news, but it hasn't gotten the notoriety that it really needs to get, in my opinion. A case that is pending in court that is going to go to court in June of 2024. So I want to talk a little bit about it because it has to do with Hawaii. It's got to do with Mauna Loa, and it's got a little bit to do with Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, but it has a little bit of a deeper thing going on because, Americans acquired Hawaii. We all know that. And there's a lot of rich people on the land. Check. But there's also, unfortunately, a lot of islanders have suffered on it. All the tourists and all the rich people, and they have problems, deep problems with poverty. The islanders, they've been suffering for a long time. Now, I do want to talk about, I could talk about all kind of other rich people there. I mean, I'm sure there's some that might be a little more respectful. Maybe Oprah's been decent. Now, Obama was born there. Yes, he was. Trump. Okay, he was born in Hawaii. He has property there and stuff. Yes, he was. Okay. Um, but there is somebody who's been very naughty on the island. And I'm going to talk a little bit about shamanism and maybe the way volcanoes speak. And just to kind of give you a little bit of a heads up idea about how Mauna Loa's been speaking, at least when I look at it. And then when I kind of give you some dates, you might be like, you know what? Maybe Mauna Loa really is saying something. Maybe Mauna Loa is a little upset. And see, that's very concerning to me as a shaman because Mauna Loa is the biggest volcano in the world. Okay. And also, there is something called, you probably heard of it, the Ring of Fire, the baby volcanoes. Now, scientists have said that Mauna Loa, like say, if had a big eruption, wouldn't necessarily set off the Ring of Fire. Um, but when you're a shaman and you know that Mauna Loa is a spirit, and then volcanoes are spirits, you understand, you see the earth in a little bit different way. You see it as a spirit as well, a whole spirit, the mother goddess. And then there's, if you've ever been to certain places and you felt, something amazing, because a lot of, we could learn from, like, the indigenous and really listen to them. They understand the nature of spirit, and they understand volcanoes are not just science, they're spirits. Okay. So anyway, as I've kind of said that, let's look at Mauna Loa not just as a scientific volcano, but let's look at him as a spirit because he speaks. And he speaks very well. So let's go ahead and look at something. We're going to talk about Mark versus Mauna Loa because Mauna Loa has been speaking. So first, as Mauna Loa is a spirit, first let's look at Mark Zuckerberg's date of birth. What is Mark Zuckerberg's date of birth?
Mark Zuckerberg was born on May 14th, 1984.
Mark Zuckerberg, May 14, 1984. Oh, George Orwell. Okay. Okay, he's born in 1984. Kind of interesting, right? Yeah, okay. Now, what is the date Mauna Loa erupted in 1984?
March 25th. According to usgs.gov, eruption begins in Mokuaweo caldera, March 25th, 1:30 a.m. Hawaiian Standard Time at 1:25 a.m. A military satellite recorded a strong infrared signal from the summit of Mauna Loa, indicating that the eruption was underway. Within just a few minutes, people all over Hawaii Island were reporting an intense red glow above the volcano.
So, March 25th, 1984, Mauna Loa erupted. It began its eruption. So I look at that. Let's step back for a minute. If I just look at Mauna Loa as a spirit, okay, 1984. We know George Orwell. That's the year that, for whatever reason he picked, 1984 and stuff. And we've got this Mauna Loa spirit going off March 25th, 1984, and then we got Mark being born, May 1984. Did he know he was coming? And maybe he was a little upset. He's almost here. You know, you just kind of wonder, is he trying to say something because maybe he knows there's a book, 1984? It's just an interesting coinky dink, but I'm not done. It's just an interesting coinky dink. Maybe he was like, oh, he's in the womb, he's almost here. Shit. Me. Okay. All right, there's that. Okay. So let's talk about, Mark. He owns a little Hawaii. This is an article from The Guardian. I'm not sure what year, but it's over a year old. So, it says Mark Zuckerberg added 110 acres to his controversial 1,500 acre estate in Kauai, Hawaii, dropping $17 million for the purchase. The 110 acres of land that Facebook founder and his wife recently bought on the Kailoko Reservoir, a centennial reservoir whose dam broke in 2006 and released 400 million gallons of water that killed 7 people on Kauai's, hopefully I'm saying that right, North Shore. According to spokesperson Ben Lubbock, the reservoir is considered high risk and has not been repaired. Zuckerbergs are committed to fulfilling legal requirements. Okay, let's just move. Okay, so there's some stuff, they were doing their thing. But this is the thing here that people need to know about how he behaves on the island. In early 2017, Zuckerberg's lawyers filed lawsuits against hundreds of local Hawaiians who may own an interest in small pockets within his estate boundaries. This quiet title suits are used to clarify the often complicated history of land ownership in the state and can often force owners to auction off their lands. In certain cases, defendants are even required to pay legal fees of the plaintiff, in this case, the world's 5th richest man. This is the face of neocolonialism, said Kapua Sproat, a law professor at the University of Hawaii, to The Guardian in 2017. Even though a forced sale may not physically displace people, it's the last nail in the coffin of separating us from the land. For us as Native Hawaiians, the land is an ancestor. It's a grandparent. You don't just sell your grandmother, Sproat added. Zuckerberg eventually dropped the suit, saying that he and his wife wanted to make this right talk with the community and find a better approach. The pockets of land were eventually sold at an auction. Along with his Hawaii estate, Zuckerberg owns a total of roughly 1,400 acres and 10 houses of Palo Alto, San Francisco, Lake Tahoe, amounting to $320 million real estate portfolio. So he's been doing things, trying to strong arm and force various ways land, doing some neocolonialism on Hawaii, upsetting the islanders. Now, this is the one we're going to read the case for. This is the big one. Mark Zuckerberg and lawsuit for, oh God, I'm blanking. I was looking for the wrong, yeah, hold on. Mark Zuckerberg and Hawaii and, oh, I'm blanking again. Hold on. Let me get it. Let me do it this way. Mark Zuckerberg and Rodney and wrongful death lawsuit. Here we go. This is one that needs to get more notoriety. Okay. So we're going to read from, this is August 8, 2022. This happened in 2019, but family alleges negligence in death of security guard for Mark Zuckerberg's Hawaii compound. This is a very important one that really needs to get around. It would be nice if this video got around, but let's talk about it. Family alleges negligence in death of security guard for Mark Zuckerberg's Hawaii compound. Okay, and that's a photo of the man that died on his compound in Hawaii. Honolulu News. Rodney Medeiros died in August 2019 after suffering a heart attack on Kulau Ranch, the sprawling property owned by Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Sham. His family is now suing the Zuckerberg's company, Pila Land LLC, claiming negligence and wrongful death. Medeiros, 70, was a retired sugarcane worker. So he must have needed the money if he was working security on this property. He's 70 years old, guys. When the Zuckerbergs were visiting Kauai, he was hired part-time, seasonal security guard. And here's a bigger photo of him. Okay. His post was at Pilot Beach at the bottom of a steep hill. They would take him to Kawasaki Mule and drive him up to the post. When the ship was over, they would go down to pick him up and bring him back up, said Ziba Medeiros, Rodney's daughter. Oh, sorry, my cat's name Rocky. Sorry. It was storming. It was raining really bad, Medeiros said, adding that the Kaloa River had swelled, as it often does during heavy rains. The severe weather meant no one was able to pick up her father from his post. He was forced to walk up the hill in the dark, in the mud by himself. It's a cliff, Medeiros said. It's steep, and they told us it drops from both sides. Another security guard who grew worried when Medeiros didn't surface went to look for him. The employee found Medeiros leaning against a tree. He was alert but holding his chest. When the Zuckerbergs are on the garden aisle, medical staff is also on the ranch. Ben LeBolt, a spokesperson for there he is again, Mark Zuckerberg family office, said on-site medic provided support and then transported Mr. Medeiros, who was conscious and communicative, to the ambulance, which rushed Mr. Medeiros to Wilcox Hospital, and he died hours later. When he had the heart attack, it ripped a hole in her heart, so he was bleeding out, said Ziba Medeiros. She didn't find out her father died until the next day. That must be horrible. A report from the cardiologist concluded the physical stress of climbing the hill was a substantial factor that caused the acute event. Attorneys Michael Green and Michael Stern are representing the Medeiros family in a civil lawsuit. It didn't need to happen, Green said, adding his research shown the ranch could have upgraded the tires, this is a big thing, on the four-wheelers, so about 1,000 to allow them to be operable in heavy rain. Yeah, so he didn't, put some good tires on, so the guy walked and had a heart attack. Then Medeiros wouldn't have had to walk. A week later, after Medeiros died, a security manager for Zuckerberg's met with the family, a meeting that the family recorded. I talked to the owner, the manager is heard saying on the recording. I talked to both Mark and Priscilla after this happened. The manager said the Zuckerbergs offered condolences and said, we're sorry. And the recording, the manager also repeatedly tells the family Zuckerbergs are offering them money. It's pretty much open, he is heard saying. He adds, do you need help with the funeral expenses? Or, do you just want to start a memorial fund? He asked several times. Medeiros' family never gave a number, thinking they couldn't put a dollar sign on their grief. There's nothing that's going to make it okay. There's nothing that's going to bring him back, says Ziba Medeiros. But days later, someone made the decision for him. They ended up getting a check for $7,500. Medeiros said they were shocked and at first grateful. We were like, oh, wow, this is so nice of them. But that changed over the next few weeks after Medeiros said she thought more about the amount of money from the billionaires. Yeah, because I know they're humble island people at first. Oh, nice paying for the fear. Oh, wait a minute. That's $7,500. This guy is a billionaire. It's $7,500 for her father's life. This is supposed to make it okay, she said. What made Medeiros even more upset is that the security manager had told the Mauna Loa ranch frequently has transportation issues during heavy rain. So they were aware, okay, and didn't put the tires on. I know it's happened on previous visits. The guards have to walk up. He's heard saying in the recording. LeBolt, the Zuckerberg's family spokesperson, said there is a training program all drivers must undergo. So anyway, and about the $7,500 check, LeBolt said it was a contribution given by Mark and Priscilla and was meant to help with burial expenses. And then, but LeBolt did not respond specifically to the wrongful death suit. So basically Mark Zuckerberg, who, has Facebook and he's got all this, he's done a little neocolonialism on Hawaii, upsetting islanders, kind of trying to strong arm them in various things, gave this family $7,500. And how rich is he? He's like the 5th richest person in the world. Okay, so there's that. Okay, now we're not done with Mauna Loa. In November 9 of 2022, that is when the big layoff happened, and Mark laid off 11,000 workers because sales were short. But in November 23rd of 2022, After the layoff, Mark was spotted jet skiing, okay, and having a good old time in Hawaii, even though we just laid off 11,000 workers. And on November 27, 2022, 4 days later, Mauna Loa erupted for 12 days. And it had not erupted since 1984. Is Mauna Loa speaking? Is Mauna Loa saying something? Is Mauna Loa trying to get a message that maybe he's upset about the way Rodney Medeiros was treated? Is he upset about him trying to do this neocolonialism and mess with the islanders to take this land? And maybe he's a little upset about that lawsuit when he's got so much money. Did you really need to lay him off? Because later, months later, he ended up gaining billions. He actually recovered quite nicely. So, Mauna Loa is very upset. Is he speaking? When I look at that, oh, he's probably upset he's born. Then he's upset he gets on the island. Then he's upset about what happened. Rodney represents something very deep in Hawaii about how people that come in rich oppress the islanders. If Mauna Loa was a spirit, how do you feel that only $7,500 was thrown at this family? For Mark and Priscilla. When he's filthy rich. As if he's expendable. And then, you know, apparently his staff is expendable. And then he erupted 4 days later for 12 days. Mauna Loa speaking. I'm a shaman. I think I know he's a spirit. And I would hate it if Mauna Loa got so upset. But the only reason Mauna Loa doesn't is because he likes the islanders. He likes the luau's. He likes the islanders. But the rich. I think he's saying something about this one. Especially this one. So I probably won't be able to share this one in my group. I should. Because Mark would go, oh God, it's Mark Z versus the volcano. Yeah, Mauna Loa. Let's read the case and let's see how he's going to do in the civil lawsuit. The wrongful death lawsuit. Who's going to win? And notice the bottom card is power. Four of Pentacles. Oh yeah, he's got the power. But who really has the power? I think Mauna Loa is a little more powerful than he is, right? I mean, he could lava all his shit if he wanted to. But the only thing is we don't want the islanders to suffer. They had the Maui fires. Enough is enough, right? How did the islanders feel about Mark doing all this crap? But it's very interesting. Hey, you can look it up. Numbers don't lie. Dates don't lie. And Rodney is deceased. Why were they like, just give us a number? As if he's give us a number. What, you know? And he, did the spokesman be like, oh, they're just some dumb islanders. We'll just give them 7,500 and they'll just act like that's great. Yeah, right. Let's just keep it quiet, right? Yeah. It started to dawn on them what really just happened. And I don't think they're trying to be greedy. It dawned on them. It dawned on them. We're, you know, expendable. You know, our father was expendable. And yeah, look at the strife, the conflict. He's strong-arming the islanders, trying to, you know, take their land. And just like they said, you know, that island is their mother. Okay, Hawaii is their mother. You know, and when rich people come in there and they do that little colonizing of it, you know, really Mauna Loa wants all the Americans off, as far as I'm concerned. If you don't want the ring of fire to blow, get all the Americans off, but, you know, at least get Mark off the island. You know what I'm saying? He'd be happy with that. Get him off. Just look at the dates. Look at it. Oh, there he is. He's on a jet ski after he laid off all those people like they're nothing. And 4 days later, Mauna Loa was like, "Meow." Yeah, that stripe card showing. Let's see how it's going to go for the family. And Mark. But yeah, not very many people know about that case. But it'll, hopefully surface next year. We're going to take a look-see in advance. Because he might set off the ring of fire. All because of Mark. Okay, so we got the Knight of Dis. We know he is a Taurus, Earth sign. Okay, there's Mark. I'm sure he worked hard to make Facebook what it is, but, he's on the island, on a conquest. What's the opposing card? Oppression. He's been oppressing the islanders. Yes, he has. Okay, he was oppressing the islanders. He's trying to strong-arm them out of land, and Mauna Loa is unhappy. Let's see what's in the hidden area. Oh, Seven of Swords, futility and stuff. Sneaky stuff, he's sketch. Oh, he's going to have to pay up a little bit there and stuff. And then we got the Prince of Cups energy. So, I look at that. I know he's got Taurus energy there. But the opposite is Scorpio. Right now we're in the Scorpio energy. We also know Scorpio can also represent death and things like that as well. And stuff. The way he's been going in there, I'd be interested to see if there's a little Scorpio in his chart and stuff. But the way he's going in there is almost like kind of vengeful and everything, the way he does his thing. So let's kind of go ahead and see. But he's sketch. And he's trying to act like he wants to better things. And oh, please. He was totally suing these people. Defeat. Yeah, he's defeated a lot of people and he's got a lot of land. It's messed up. Let's see what's going to be coming. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and extend this into the June energy. What do we got here? And stuff. He's just been defeating people and stuff. So we got the Six of Cups, which can be, the pleasure card. That's the past, nostalgia, childhood energy, and so forth. Can be. But this is called the pleasure card. And this one, oh yeah, he loves it. He has pleasure. He has a good time in Hawaii. Bet he does. He had a lot of pleasure when he was jet skiing after that layoff too. But we're going into the age of Aquarius no matter what. We've got the light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully the light at the end of the tunnel will come for this family because it's really messed up. Prince of Swords, I guess he's not the best communicator. We've all seen him. He's, but just, the way this cut through, the Prince of Swords is pretty ill-dignified in the thought energy and so forth. He could just, the way he handled this, it just, after they're trying to be like, oh, okay. And it's like, wow, I think they just threw us away like we were trash. You know what I'm saying? $7,500. Here you go. Done. I'm a billionaire. Nothing. Sometimes I can see the Lady Justice comes with the Queen of Swords. Is she going to take off his head? That would be nice. Let's go ahead and see. Two of Swords. Yes, they were faced with a choice. Give me a number, this, that. They were very confused and distraught. I mean, for crying out loud, their father has passed in a horrible way. He's walking up this hill, and it's all messed up. Let's see, how does Mark feel about it? I mean, he's probably not too worried about it. He's got money to blow, but it won't look good for his reputation. I mean, Ten of Cups, he's got a pretty nice living there, in Hawaii and stuff. But, he might, he's been a little worried about losing money a little bit. He's always worried about losing money. That's a big thing. I've got the failure card. He is going to have to pay more than $7,500, it looks like. Yes, this will be completed, the Four of Wands. And really, I mean, Facebook could go the way of MySpace one day, especially if people think you're kind of a jerk. And stuff. But, the Islanders, they need, stand up for themselves with the Strength card. Well, Mauna Loa will do it for him, that's for sure. He's speaking for him. But I've got the Fool card here. To me, he's really, he's just being foolish. He's playing with fire, Mauna Loa. Upsetting the Islanders and everything like that. And then we've got the Sun in Virgo energy, prudence, and everything. I know he's worked very hard to create the Facebook empire and so forth, but, you know, we've got the Two of Wands energy and stuff. I mean, it's like, why is this even going to court? If they did a wrongful death lawsuit, it's like, why don't you just settle it and give them something a little better than $7,500? But no, he's going to make it go all the way to court. You know, why wouldn't we have settled it before it even goes there? Okay, you know, that's crazy. It was on his property. Except hopes and fears, High Priestess, secrets coming out, being revealed. Yes, that is Isis. All is sacred. I'm going to keep it up there. There you go. As I'm almost done. Oh, the Tower. It's not a good look for him. But we don't want the Tower, Mars. This is the Mars card. We don't want Mauna Loa to blow. He's already blown for 12 days. He wants Mark off the freaking island. But he is going to have to pay more than $7,500, yes. We don't want him to blow. We want Mauna Loa to suspend it. You know, maybe he needs to wake up and realize that Mauna Loa is a spirit. Maybe he doesn't believe in God. I don't know what's going on. But he needs to have an awakening moment, you know, and stuff. Because we certainly don't want Mauna Loa to start erupting and everything. You know, but yeah, Mauna Loa is angry. That's Mars. And his way of going to war is like, yeah, he needs to lose this lawsuit. And he needs to lose big. Okay. But how do you put a dollar figure on a wrongful death? I mean, that's, I have no clue what it could possibly be. And stuff, but he's going to have to pay and stuff. But people need to know what he's been doing on the island. The way he treats people. Okay, like he might be doing one thing, but, you know, when acting like, you know, he's doing some, what are you better in the island, but then you're doing this on the down low, being sketch, Seven of Swords. Okay, hurting them. You know, this is, yeah, Hawaii to the islanders, that's their mother. That's the way they see it, you know. And, you know, it's already difficult that Americans took over, and then you got all these rich people coming in and stuff, but he's the worst. Except he will lose the case. How much he will pay dollar figure wise, I don't know. But you know what? You know, he's, you know, it certainly won't make him broke. But I hope in everything, one of the big things about it is that it will get the notoriety it deserves. Because his behavior on the island is despicable. The way he treated the family is disgusting. You know, and then he has this layoff and he acts like he's so pained by doing it. But then, you know, Thanksgiving on, you know, November 23rd, he's having a good-ass time in Hawaii while everybody's going, oh, shit, I'm out of a job. I know people call him the reptile. I'm not a big thing on the David Icke reptile thing, you know. I'm not sure what you think about all that and stuff like that, you know. But I know one thing. Mauna Loa wants him off the island. Yeah, Mauna Loa doesn't like him. Okay, so, you know, even though I would say, you know, this is, you know, for the family, Mauna Loa wanted to get some attention there. You know, and Mauna Loa wants the attention of what he does. Okay, you know, being a creep on the island. Anyway, that's what I get. He's going to have to pay. But will it get the notoriety it deserves? For the family, Rodney Medeiros, it really should. All right, you guys. We'll see what happens June 2024. And let's hope Mauna Loa, can be a little bit quiet, you know. But I don't know. He's sick of him.